how the sexual polarity can happen. It's very important. And it's very important that also these qualities of the masculine and feminine, that at that point that don't have nothing to do with the gender, but with yourself, how you feel yourself, in which quality you are in that moment of the day, in that moment of how you are living your life, what is more predominant, and how this can affect also the arc of polarity in your sexual union. So
Yeah.
it's this knowledge about polarity, and about how it works are fundamental in coming for a healthy relation. How you relate, it's very important that that you know how it works.
Yeah.
That myself as a man, I need to give time. I need to respect, and I need that the positive pole of the woman, her breast, her heart center, be connected. That she has time to expand, and that this energy can be in all the body, can arrive in a vagina, that can be receiving. The man is almost ready, but we need to have
Almost
this
always ready,
ready. So it's
as we say.
it's important that we allow ourselves, that we know before, that we know it, in order to give, that we are ready together to explore this sacred space.
Yeah, yeah. And as you're talking, what I'm reminded of is the whole approach to slowing down and almost letting go of the goal.
Yeah.
It's just slow down, up into that space of unknown curiosity, tuning into self, being curious about what's arising in the other, and it's from that then something emerges. Yeah.
Yes, it's like I can imagine that you are a boy and a girl in the seaside, and we are doing castles in the sand without any goal, and we are playing, and we are enjoying, totally absorbed, enjoying that moment.
Yeah.
There is nothing more that moment, that the pleasure of to be exploring and to create that moment.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah.
nothing there. And then comes the wave and throw it and moves out, and you do it again, and you could move on. So it's energy that we are moving again, and we are containing, and we are expanding. And this is this energy that we expand, and we create, and we bring to our creativity. This is a pure energy, pure creativity that we are allowed, instead to just release and let go this energy. We are empowering ourselves with the strength, and we are become expanding, and we become more ecstatic, and as a natural beings. So
Yeah.
this is the invitation in that that we are all, that we are bringing, to let go of any preconceived ideas that we have how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, isn't that interesting? Because, a lot of the time when you think about the importance of an intention, but an intention is a contraction around something specific.
Yeah.
Whereas when we're thinking about expansion into infinite possibilities, I'm reminded of, there's a quote from Carl Jung. He says, the way to truth is open only to those without intentions. And it's kind of that
I
letting go,
like it.
the, relaxation into the question.
Yeah, now that you bring this, actually, we through our tantra, or because for us tantra is a lot about the trust to surrender. To surrender to what? Mhm. I would say, to surrender to the river of life, to the moment, and to be aware. Okay, there is this thought arising now. I let go into the moment, because I trust, I can choose to trust life, to trust where life takes me, to trust the moment by moment. And from this inner space, I can let go of my ideas, for instance.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny how these ideas, they do show up in so many different traditions. I have a friend of mine who's a Sufi, is a mystical form of Islam, and he was explaining to me that, because Sufi is quite an ecstatic practice, they do all the whirling and
Yeah.
breath work in as well. But he explained that for a Sufi, one of the ways they understand the idea of Allah is a two-part word. It's breath, and la in Arabic actually means knowledge. So it's like let go of what you think you know, and inspire and be inspired by the transcendent. And Islam means surrender. So it's, as you say, it's that surrender to the breath, surrender to life, surrender to the mystery. Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
they really show up in lots of our traditions. It's quite interesting, the connections between the different traditions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Returning to the breath. In fact, it's so powerful if we connect when we in breath permanent every moment consciously, that if we connect with and be as aware about what we are thinking about, what emotion, what we want to bring. If I want to breathe now, and I connect with joy, I connect with contentment, with gratitude. What I'm bringing, the prana, the energy, is very different if I just breathe unconsciously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And this is where I think intention then adds to it, because one of the things that's very important with the leaders I work with is what I say the two key abilities really are awareness and adaptability. And adaptability is the self-management piece, your ability to choose your state in any given moment, whatever the context happens to be. And that's again through the breath. What does life require of me in this moment? Is it joy? Or is it, maybe I need to kind of connect to maybe the sorrow that's in the other, so I can, have that connection with them, right? Feel them,
Yes.
from an empathetic perspective. So it's intentionally being able to, connect to all of these things which are always present within us, with that focus, and using the breath and that inner mastery, as you said as well. Yeah. Yeah.
And as we are talking now, I had this thought listening to you, Aluba, earlier, that for the listeners, they might think, "Oh my God, it's a lot of work." Then, I mean, too bad. But actually, and in a way, in a sense, it is the self-exploration. But for me, all this inner work is more about really remembering something that we all know.
Yeah.
For instance, children are very present in the moment.
Yes.
Us as adults, I see it really as a work of remembering something that we know intuitively, that our body knows. That's why the body is in the present always. It's just to remember. And once we tune into this natural capacity of being present in the body, we can be present to ourselves and to the others in whatever moment in our life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's interesting you use the word work, because we did work quite hard over the course of the time together. Yet,
Yeah,
I wouldn't have described it as work. I would have described it as
no.
play,
yeah,
and that's
exactly.
connecting to that inner child. Then that, as you quite rightly kind of point out, it was joyful, it was playful, and it was really, as you say, being like a kid again in many ways. Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Tantra is, as you say, it is a space of to be. In fact, we have this idea that we have to do. And then also in our relation now, in what I do, we are a lot in doing. That is even the sacred space of intimacy becomes a job. So it's a hard work, and it's not
Yeah.
about it. We take it out all the way. It's about to be. It's about really to be. It's just about not doing. And
So it's kind of unlearning more, unlearning or letting go everything
in
that
fact,
we think we
We
should
know.
do.
Yeah.
We know.
So you obviously have lots of different people coming to you from many, many different countries, many, many different backgrounds, etc. I'm just curious, as in terms of, what do you see in terms of some of the patterns that are present, with the issues that people tend to be working on, or just the challenges that our modern living has, given people, and why they come and look for Tantra as a tool to help them. What are some of the things that you see in the work that you do with the people that come to you?
Well, usually, um, yeah, usually everybody states in one way or another when, because we do send a questionnaire to them or we have a personal talk before coming together in a retreat or even in a weekend workshop. So one of the questions we are asking is, what brings you to us to explore, and what do you want from this exploration? Majority, in one way or another, are stating that I want to connect with my body, with my emotions, and with my sexuality.
Mm.
These are the three main things. And also, most of the people are saying, I want to learn to be more present with myself and with my beloved. And in terms of what I see, I learned that it's not always what is so obvious, you
Mm.
know, but what is it under something that we think.
Mm.
And what I see is really the need for reconnecting to the body, the need of relaxing, the
Mm.
need of trusting. Trust. Many people simply don't trust themselves as they are. They don't
Mm.
know how to trust the body. We lose this natural capacity that we have to feel what we call the inner GPS. We
Mm.
arrived to live so much in the mind. Not that, I mean, the mind is a very good tool to use. The problem comes when the mind becomes the master in our life.
Mm.
And yeah, we all need to connect to ourselves. We all need to trust what we feel. We all need to be open to emotions also, to
Mm.
trust that it's okay to have emotions. That's what makes us a human being.
Mm.
All these aspects. I don't know if this
Yeah.
answers to your question.
Yeah, no, it does, and I guess that's partly where the expansion comes in, isn't it? Is our ability to hold some of those emotions, particularly some of the more difficult emotions, that often maybe we look to medicate ourselves to avoid, or we go to our head to escape and distract ourselves, and we just struggle to be with ourselves sometimes. And these, what I love about these practices and the expansion that it brings is there's a spaciousness that opens up where
Yes.
this greater capacity to hold and just be that host for whatever is arising in the moment.
Yeah, and what we learn in Tantra, there are several masters that have, well, visited and gifted, I would say,
Mm.
this earth and this existence. One of our dear Tantra master is Tilopa, and
Mm.
one of his methods is the hollow bamboo. And it is a meditation that we always like in one way or another to share in our even in our daily life. We practice it often. Why? Because it's so important to remind ourselves to just allow emotion, energy to pass through us, because we are conditioned to think, oh, sadness is not good, anger is not good.
Mm.
While in Tantra, I would say we simply remember to be available, just to be available,
Mm.
like a guest, to receive the sadness and to allow it just to move through our system. Allowing is so important in Tantra. And I feel this is the invitation on a Tantra path, just to allow whatever is to be as it is. And then it transforms.